Dale!
What?
Ewert.
You what?
Yes, Jake Ewert is on the show later.
Oh, even for you, that was a stretch.
I know, that was pretty bad. Ladies and gentlebots, welcome back to the Shuntcast. We are here to review episode 11 of BattleBots 2020. I'm here, Dale is here, later Jake Ewert will be here. Bye, Crackman. But we can't do his fight, even though his fight was first, because he's not here yet. He's on his way. So first off, we'll start with, oh no. Oh, Dale, quickly, get the Kleenex.
Hang on, I got him. Oh dear.
It's Rusty versus Sawblaze, and oh dear, I'm quite traumatized. J-Mo wasn't that mean to it. I'll give him that, but I did take exception to him going for the popcorn bowl. That was mutiny, Jamieson, mutiny. I'm quite cross.
Yeah, I mean, I want to just quickly add there the Kenny and Chris with so many go puns. It's ridiculous. They went for every single one they could think of. I think
they didn't stop, did they?
No, oh dear. Yeah, because one of them that I found quite amusing was when the Kenny said Jameson wants to keep the fun going. I thought, oh dear. And then that's when you couldn't not hear the rest of them. I thought, oh dear, you keep gonna say it, and yeah. But yeah, no, I mean it looked nice for TV. The sparks.
It did. There was lots of sparks because Sawblaze went with the actual saw rather than the hammer saw. There were lots of sparks. It helped Rusty get up a few times. Come on, mate. Come on, keep going. Let's have a good time. And yeah, my only problem with the other than the fact that Rusty lost is that J-Mo went for the popcorn bowl, and I'm sad.
Yes, but fair play to Rusty. He didn't stop.
He didn't. I have to admit, I'm a little bit worried that he's not going to make it to get the giant nut.
Well, I'm sure there's a way they probably edited it around, or someone had to replace him at the end, or I don't know. We'll have to see. That's probably what it was.
I shan't have a tantrum about it, though. But speaking of tantrums...
Oh, dear.
It's Gamma 9 versus Tantrum. And, I mean... Gamma 9's not spinner fodder. I mean, it is a little bit, but not as much as, say, 2019 Nelly, for example. but Tantrum beat it up. The punchy spinner is doing the thing this season, and I love it. I've so wanted it to do well in the 2019 season. I like this idea. I want to see it do well, and it didn't last year, which was a bit disappointing. But this year, it is working sweet, and I'm loving it. I love the punchy spinner.
Yeah, it's nice to see what it meant to have done, like I say, last year. So, yeah, pretty good. I liked Chris as well with the, he said a line that said, you can hear the of Tantrum Spinner, which quite accurate for the basic, terminology for not the people who are not experts. If you just want to know what it is, it's the sound.
Yes, it's called the death hum. For those in the know, but for Chris and Kenny, it's called the Although I think they miss an opportunity. It's called Tantrum. They should have called it the wah.
Oh dear, yes.
Well, so there we go. Gamma 9 got a bit beat up by Tantrum, but I like the Gamma 9 team though. Gamma 9 were the people who gave us Nelly's pokey stick for Deep Six.
Nice.
There you go.
Although I want to add to the end of that one as well. I don't believe that there was 1 second left on the fight. That seemed like a bit more convenient editing.
It did. That was very convenient timing. Although somebody, I'm sure, will send us BattleBots footage and prove it was true.
I hope so.
I hope so, because you couldn't write that. If it did happen, that's awesome, and that's amazing. But my inner cynic says that was very convenient.
Yes.
Do you know what was not convenient?
Oh, several things.
Hypershock's result against Endgame. Oh man, I'm sorry, my dear sponsor, but you lost. So I'm going to have to talk about the fact that you lost. I love that screen cap of Will just looking so disappointed, and I'm also furious at you, Dale, because I sent this picture to Dale, ladies and gentlebots, and I captioned it "Hello Darkness, my old friend," because I mean, you see the expression on Will's face. It was "Hello, darkness, my old friend." But Dale decided to make it "Hello, suckless, my old friend." And I'm. Oh, Dale.
I mean, I thought that was quite clever. I'm not going to lie.
It was. That's why I'm cross about it. Get out.
All right.
So Hypershock got yeeted by Endgame. I think. Do you know what? The thing with Endgame right now is that because we've had so much controversy since the Tombstone fight, you've had the bike rack and you've had the rotator thing, that people have kind of forgotten almost a little bit about Endgame, and then it's come back to fight Hypershock. It's, oh shit, son, Endgame is on form. I now have 3 scariest robots, along with Uppercut and Copperhead. It is Endgame. I don't want to go near it.
I can't add much to that. I mean, it's one hit and done, and yeah. I mean, I thought that was quite weird as well, that little moment where Endgame tried to kill Kenny. Yes.
Yeah, that's not allowed. Okay, don't kill. I like Kenny, and Nelly is very fond of Kenny as well. So please don't do that. Do you know what made up for how short this fight was, though? And thank you, Will, for giving us something else to talk about. The QR code on the bottom of Hypershock leads to, drumroll, the secret Hypershock store, where you can get everything Hypershock, including a Hypershock. You can get a neon sign. You can get jackets, t-shirts, everything right down to boxer shorts and bikinis. Yeah, because you need. I know that you spent quite a bit of money in the Hypershock store. Did you get a bikini?
I was tempted, but no.
Was the cup size too big?
Just a little bit, yes. And it made my bum look big.
Aww.
Yes. So I just got the boxers, socks, a towel, a pack of stickers.
Your wallet hates you right now.
I mean, yeah, I don't have a wallet anymore. I had to sell the wallet to get money for the wallet. So you're welcome, Will, and please send me money for food.
Yes, we'll spend Will's money on food because Dale spent it all on Hypershock gear. We will move on to Smee
And stop.
versus P1. Thanks, mate. I have to admit, with these robots' previous performances, I was not looking forward to this fight from a perspective that I expected it to be a great fight. However, I shall happily eat my words. This was a brilliant fight. It was Smee just got it together this fight. So did P1, and it was a proper good scuffle. It wasn't destructive like you get with the big spinners like Endgame and stuff like that, but it was still a bloody good, entertaining fight. And the bit with him holding Smee up by the middle in the air, it was just, yay, look, I'm holding a robot around. Whee! I love that. It was great. Great TV, great fight.
Yeah, I mean, I also, just before that fight as well, by the way, the little Chris and Kenny, when they talked before Farouk's intro, it looked like Chris took your Smee thing. He's clearly listening from the past.
So P1 took the victory because it beached Smee. Thanks, mate. On the arena sidewall, which was that was a lovely way to win. Brilliant fight. So we move on to Beta versus Grabot, and Beta was a bit meaner to Grabot than it was to Rusty. Got some good hits in. John Reed has also decided he's going to change up the weight for a good hit line as well. Because I'm ready with the hammer. Not as good as Kenny's one, but there we go. Put a few nice dents into Grabot, and Grabot was pretty sad by the time it got counted out.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe they showed porn on TV, quite honestly.
I beg your pardon?
Porn on TV. The foreplay of waiting for a good hit at the start, and then Grabot gets fucked hard and took a pounding, and then they even smoked afterwards.
Dale? I'm the filthy one.
Well, you clearly rubbed off on me.
No, I did not do that, Dale, and will not say that on the Shuntcast.
I was going to go the other way and say you rubbed one out on me, but that
I didn't do that either. I mean, lockdown, come on, I'm not letting anyone hear you. I wouldn't do that way anyway. But Okay, Dale's just completely flummoxed me now. Thank you for being filthy, Dale. F in the chat for filthy Dale. It's something about John Reed, isn't it?
Oh dear.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Valkyrie and Whiplash, the main event, and I have to say, as much as I love Valkyrie, I was sad with how quickly the spinner stopped working in this fight because, coming on from the rotator fight, I mean, I don't know what order they were filmed in. Maybe this fight got filmed beforehand, but when it's gone from this amazing fight with rotator, where the spinner and the drive was just pretty much going the whole time, it was so durable and so terrifying. To see the spinner conk out so soon against Whiplash was just, come on, that's not fair. I did like Leanne's little moment though towards the end where Whiplash pushed it right up against the wall where the drivers are standing, and Leanne was like, "Hey, girl."
Yeah, quite funny.
But after the spinner died, Whiplash just bullied Valkyrie for the rest of the match. Really.
Yeah, Matt Vasquez is Whiplash's weapon.
Mm.
The driving, just yeah.
I'm fully on board with the fact that he was born with a transmitter in his hands. Can we get an F for Debbie Vasquez, please? Because that's some achievement.
I mean, that's no.
Don't even at me after what you just said, right? Don't, just behave yourself. So Whiplash takes the win quite convincingly because it just bullied Valkyrie for all of this match, pretty much. There were a couple of good hits at the beginning when the spinner was working, it's good hits, and when it does hit, Valkyrie is freaking terrifying. But this was not its best performance.
Basically, yeah.
Having said that, after the rotator fight, pretty hard shoes to fill. I mean, because they literally called it something like the fight of the season. And if we've already had the fight of the season in that episode, well, well, we got to look forward to. Now, of course we did. I'm joking. Right now, I was just I want to see Valkyrie working. I love it. It's such a good looking robot, and when it is working, it works so well. At which the rotator fight proves. But this was not its best outing, so never mind.
F.
Hey guys, I'm here. Let me park my bike first.
Ladies and gentlebots, we have Jake Ewert on the show. Hi, Jake. How you
Hey,
doing?
how's it going? I'm doing fine.
Did you park the bike okay?
It was a little tight, but I got her.
Have you put a lock on it? Because someone might steal it.
They don't want my bike.
I mean, that's probably fair. I can't argue with you there. So, right, in this latest episode, you were drawn against Uppercut. What was your initial reaction to being drawn against Uppercut?
I was actually surprised. I thought I was going to get like a slough, to finish off the season because I had 2 really hard bots beforehand. I did not think I was going to be getting the number 1 seed coming into that fight. But it was very actually scary because watching some of his fights, he was just completely dominating, and there was nothing anybody could do about it. So I was very like handily, and he should be a really good control bot, and I would have thought that he could have handled that fight, more than he did. But yeah, so I was actually afraid coming into this match.
I don't blame you. I actually on the show in previous weeks have said the 2 robots at first I really feared were Copperhead and Uppercut. But I also, having been reminded that Endgame is killing it at the moment, have now added Endgame to it as well. The Uppercut's a monster. It is.
Yeah, it definitely has a lot of energy in that blade for sure.
So it's fair to say you were maybe requiring some brown trousers.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but if he would have hit me like decently on the side, I think I probably would have been done for the season. So it's better that the match went the way it did. You know what I mean?
I mean, you definitely gave a better driving performance in this fight than you did in the bike rack one. I'll be honest with you, because
Whoa, no, you can't say that. I didn't take a hit in that bike rack one, so that was perfect driving. This one here, I was getting stuck on the floor, and we were both actually getting stuck on the floor. And there's a lot of times he'd do a somersault going into the kill slots, and so
but
going
you
into
didn't
the next
have the
match.
addition of a massive bike rack. So
But it
so your
drove
logic is
better to
flawless,
get
and
on
I
there.
don't disagree with you, but I simultaneously am going to be stubborn. So speaking of reactions,
When we fight again, or if we fight again, you know what I mean. I can definitely be a little more aggressive with the bike rack, and it's coming if it needs to. If that's words most of the questions the way it needs to be.
So speaking of reactions, what was your reaction to the sort of social media bike rack storm? And also kind of want to ask, how do you feel about the way you represented?
It was an avalanche of just sheer trash talking for the longest time. We thought, oh, after the few days, okay, we'll get over it. And we are, what, 4 or 5 weeks later, and it is still avalanching down on us. So, as far as that goes, I can take most of that. In fact, I like to head most of that hate straight on and give it right back. So that kind of fills in my villainy role. But as far as the the intimidation factor, I don't quite have that yet.
I mean,
so
I walked right
don't,
up to you and just said, "Hi, can I have another gun sticker?" So
right, yeah,
it's the biggest sticker on my
Yeah.
sticker shelf. It's amazing.
Yeah, we like to overcompensate with our big stickers.
I mean, you are sponsored by a cow wanking machine.
That's very true. Yeah, and it is.
You got that going for you. Oh, can I just say that speaking of the drama and all the social media storm, I have to say I've called it the distracted bike rack meme that you made, and it was bloody wonderful. It actually came up as a nomination for meme of the week for that episode. It narrowly lost out to Al. No, it didn't. It narrowly lost out to Al Kindle, and you can't be mad because it's Al Kindle. So
no, actually, me and Al were kind of having meme wars there for a few weeks. We were trying to out top each other. So
keep it up. We love it. Shunt posting loves it.
Speaking of he's got a meme guy now apparently. So he's been trying to go back and forth, and every episode, oh, I see you on there. Hey, my TV must be broken. You weren't an ass this match. That kind of thing. So he's been giving me quite amount of runaround every match. So.
Oh, he has, and you have just met Al's meme guy because it is Dale.
Oh, well, there you go. And those are pretty impressive, I would have to say.
Thanks.
To be fair, when I get ideas above my station for memes, I go to Dale as well. I only have Paint, and he has Paint 3D, so but there we go. I would like to propose that if Hydra goes up against Bloodsport at some point in the future, if you flip it, is it going to become a helicopter?
They would have to put a new blade on for that one, with the helicoil, and make sure it's got a little lift on there. Otherwise, usually when you flip horizontal blades, they actually stay pretty horizontal. So he wouldn't really do a lot of somersaulting, I don't think.
Physics, baby.
Yeah.
We can't resist getting that one in. Okay, so we have some fan questions for you. Are you ready?
I'll take the hate. Let's go.
Okay, right. First up, Adam Matthew Peckett would like to know, where did the name of the robot come from?
That one's pretty simple. It's hydraulic, so we just shorten the name.
It's not the mythical creature. I'm sad.
It's not a great meme, but that's kind of what it is.
Fair enough. Oh, he also had a silly question, which was, are you prepared to change your name to Bike Rack Man?
I mean, if it sells, right? So I might have to. Depends on what the sponsor wants.
I think also you'd have to ask Tim Rackers as well, because he does get called Rackman sometimes. So we'd have to check.
Oh, we'd have to fight each other for it then.
Ooh. I'd watch that, to be fair.
I'm calling him out right now. I'm going to say it.
Okay, Tim Rackers, there you go. Jake Ewert is calling you out. He's going to fight you in the arena for the name Rackman. There you go.
I did not say I was going to win, though.
I mean, fair.
I walk up to him, and he is just a giant. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Then again, I thought Huge was a giant too. Oh wait, was that a burn? Oh yes, it was.
I mean, to be fair, I've burned you a few times on this show, so it's all fair.
Oh, I know. I'm one of your 10 listeners that listen in.
10? Bloody hell, Jake, that's generous.
I know, right?
that's double our listenership.
Oh dear. Anyway, next question. Elliot Goddard asks, whilst it was definitely within the rules, do you think the bike rack attachment was within the spirit of the competition?
Well, depends on what competition you come from. If you come from the last 4 years of this BattleBot season, probably not. But if you come from the old school days of BattleBots on the Comedy Central days, then yes, definitely. Because that was all about attachment bots and just, whipping up what you could there at the event for random bots. I mean, Son of Oyashi has had plenty of attachments put onto it that, against it. So we come from the background of, if you can run it, use it. But we also are under the mentality of run what you brought. We never have brought more than one bot to a competition. If you get damaged, you have to fix it on the spot, not, oh, let's just throw in this other bot. So it's a little bit of a difference of philosophies between these current competitors and, the old school competitors.
I must admit, I am completely on side with the bring one bot thing. However, I do have 2 Nellies now. But that's because it's BattleBots. I think if it was Robot Wars, which is much more that kind of thing, I don't think I would take 2 Nellies to Robot Wars. I would have one and repair it as best I could. But BattleBots is another game entirely, and and for my kind of caliber of robot as well, because I know, I'm no top 32 robot. I'm gonna need all the spares I can bloody get. So it's a no-brainer.
The whole fight night round thing changed a lot for most bots. I mean, you're going to have more than one fight or 2 fights. Usually in your standard bracket, you're one and done or you're double a limb. So you don't get guaranteed as many fights. Now you have to get at least 3 fights in. So you have to have enough spares to do all that stuff.
Right, and the quick turnaround time as well. So you want to be making sure you can get back in the arena as quick as possible. And actually, a spare will let you do that.
These are super long lead times. Back in the day, you could be fighting 2-3 times a day. Not, let's do every other day or something like that. So wow. This is a lot slower compared to what we are used to.
This is actually stuff that someone like me wouldn't know, because I'm obviously of the new era of BattleBots and never competed on any of the old Robot Wars or BattleBots. So this is obviously something I just am not aware of. But we're going to digress too much on this one, Jake. So Leo Lee wants to know, do you think the fight with Nightmare back in season 3 might go differently if the Hellraiser that high-centered Nightmare hadn't misfired?
It didn't misfire. He definitely set it off, but I don't think it would change much. He would have got a blade hit on the hammers, but I still think he would have went sideways and still did the flippity flop that he did.
Jesse Mallon asks, does your bot deserve the number 1 seed, and how would you rearrange the top 32?
Well, if you look at the quality of wins, yes, it definitely deserves the number 1. We went up against the number 1 Witch Doctor returning bot. We went up against Huge, who nobody has an answer for. And then we went up against Uppercut, which was the number 1 seed coming into our fight. So, yes, just the merits, we definitely got the number 1. But if you look at does it look good for TV fights? I mean, this is the first year that I had a lot of judges' decisions. So I guess there were longer fights, and then a bunch of them were controversial. So the only real good win in my eyes was the Uppercut fight, just because, nobody could really complain about that one.
I think I would have gone for Copperhead, but just on a destruction value, Copperhead has scared me this season.
The de-shelling of Gigabyte was a huge one. Yeah.
That just dropped my jaw. I was like, whoa. Like, we compared it to getting fucked, right? Because like with Tombstone, it was more like a sort of gentle disrobing. But with Copperhead, it was fucking off and fucked.
Just one thrust and you're done.
Right, wham, bam, thank you, man. You know, geez, whoa. So Ty Daly is curious to know what inspired you to build a flipper when ones like Bronco are faltering, especially when you have a history of spinners.
Well, we liked the destruction factor for the most part. That's why we made spinners back in the day and still do with Fusion. But when Dad, Terry, was looking at it and Bronco was good and still is good. I mean, he had an off season and coming in, he didn't do so hot either, but he wants to see a bot hit the ceiling. That's his ultimate goal. Once he can design a bot that does that, I think he could probably feel free to retire, even if he doesn't win a giant nut or do anything with it. But that was his thing. It wasn't necessarily seeing Brian or Bronco falter, because we technically didn't see him do that while we made Hydra, but we like the physics of building a flipper. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but you get that third dimension of the fights. So some of the best fights have been flippers versus hammers, because you get just a lot of flip-flopping around and you see the bots doing a lot of things instead of just, driving in their standard orientation and one big hit and then it's done. So they definitely put on a good show. But of course, I think the best show would probably be Hydra versus Blacksmith, because he would just get flopped around the arena for 3 minutes.
He's on the builders playlist a little bit later. I'm sure he's got some things to say to you, but at present I don't know what they are, so I can't tell you. But if you'd like to say something to him, I'm sure he'd like to hear it.
Oh, I probably texting him right now. Who knows?
Ah, bromance.
Oh, anyway, moving on. Liam Ayland wants to know which is better, Hydra or Son of Waiachi?
Depends on what you're looking for, really. If you're looking for those huge hits, then Sao wins for sure, just because it usually puts on massive shows. But as an overall competition goes, everybody knows how to beat a Sao. Put a big wedge on, beat it into a corner. Eventually, it's gonna break itself, like you do with any big spinner. So as far as going the distance, I think Hydra has the better chance of doing that.
Your next question is from Al Kindle. He says, "Why are you a dork?"
Oh, because I like being a nerd and doing those fun things. And now that I get to be a villainous guy, I mean, it's kind of fun triggering people all the time. So it's been really fun having a lot of hate on the internet, because it's a lot easier to tick people off than it is to make them all happy.
That's true.
Oh dear. Sam Taylor asks, with your overall history with Hydra, what has been your favourite fight?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think it's going to have to be the Bronco fight, really. Getting them up that high and just completely dethroning them on,
I was going to say that exact word. You dethroned them and it was amazing.
And then actually getting them stuck in a point that they couldn't do anything was probably the greatest thing that we've done so far.
I now can't wait to see like Hydra against the Brit Flippers when the Brit Flippers get to return, because
that won't even be a match, so don't even start talking about that.
So Kieran Atkins says, "Have you got a Shremek?"
Well, I can flip myself over, so yeah, it works.
It's a British thing. It's a silly song on Robot Wars. And it is Robot Wars Shunt posting, right? So
right,
we love
definitely. Yeah, I mean, Bronco flails itself pretty high when it tries to do that. I mean,
it does,
mine's actually a really controlled, like maybe a 1 foot flip where I'm not off the ground and then I just kind of topple back over. So going into first season though, we didn't check that. And we didn't check it, and we didn't check it, and we waited till the end of the competition, went home, and then we finally checked to actually see if it could flip itself over.
Amazing.
Sam Roberts asks, do you prefer cats or dogs?
Well, I've had 15 cats here at the house at one time.
Oh, wow.
So not in the house. We had 2 in the house, and then the rest were like barn cats outside in our shed. But they get really annoying really quickly. So I'd have to go with a dog, I guess. but not a small dog. A medium-sized dog that isn't like all hyper and jumpy, and yeah, lazy
I don't
dog.
like yappy dogs. I'd love a golden retriever. I think they're gorgeous.
Yeah, those are pretty decent. We definitely have had some of those around the Ewert house for a while.
Aw, we love a good doggo here on the Shuntcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next question was worded quite rudely, and it's not my usual style. So I did check with Jake if he was cool with it beforehand, and he said he was. So it's his decision. Ty Little poses the question: how do you plan to deal with Huge next time? That dirty bike rack shit will only work once.
Hi, Ty. I'm sure it'll work again though, if it happens. But after the season, we are actually designing a new attachment just for them as well. That's different than the bike rack, but kind of the same. It'll orientate them so that their wheels actually turn sideways onto the flipper, so I have more than half a second to actually flip on them. So it'll hopefully work. But I mean, if I had to go back in with that same bike rack, I'm sure it would work again. I could put on a bunch of armor and do what everybody else does and just flail into them. I have roughly 30 to 40 pounds I could just throw on the top and let them beat into me, but I don't think I would win that match because they're always, doing quote unquote damage to me, even though they're not actually damaging anything. So it was the safest way was to go with they can't touch anything, and then we just go with whatever's close to a judge's decision because if you don't actually break the spinner, they usually win.
Very true.
Fair point, yeah. Mary Catherine Carr wants to know, who catches more fish on your trip to Canada?
Oh, definitely Dad, because he actually has his rod in more than we do. Otherwise,
that's not an innuendo, kids. That's not an innuendo. Okay, maybe.
I get sick of fishing pretty quickly, and it's kind of just out there and I don't know, sitting in the boat, whereas he's actually there to fish. Well, it's fun spending some time out in the cabin where there's really no rescue because we had to fly into the lake and we're on our own and we fly in a certain amount of food and rations, and so it's fun being kind of isolated like that. But you get sick of it after a while, not having ice, refrigerators, that kind of thing.
Okay, so we are going to move on to a little game of beat, defeat, judges. And we actually have two this week because somebody suggested one and you are quite possibly the only person we could actually do this with. So we're going to go with both. So the special one is from Ty Daly, and your opponents are Son of Waiarchi, Fusion, and Falcon. Beat one, get defeated by one, and take one to the judges.
I would beat Sao handily. I would probably lose the Fusion, and then Falcon I would take to the judges only because I'd spend 3 minutes flipping them and probably couldn't get them out of the box.
And your other one from Sam Taylor is Blacksmith, Copperhead, and Mammoth.
Ooh, well, I would probably lose to Copperhead because we've seen that once before with the Minotaur fight. And then Mammoth is super gangly, so I might have a hard time actually flipping them. So I think that one will go to the judges, and of course I would just wipe the floor with Blacksmith.
Do you know what? I didn't have a bet with Dale this time that Blacksmith would go to the judges because I mean, literally every time Blacksmith comes up on this game, he ends up going to the judges. So congratulations for being the first person not to send Blacksmith to the judges on this game.
Well, that's nice.
We have a first on the Shuntcast every now and then. So we move on to the Good Hit of the Night award. We'll give you our nominations first, but ultimately, of course, you're the guest, so it's your choice.
Do I have to pick one of yours, or can I pick a different one?
You can pick a different one if your one isn't in our suggestions. Okay. Right, so we've got 4. We've got Endgame Yeats Hypershock, Not Rusty's Face, Wee Uppercut, and P1 Holding Up Smee. Voting for yourself is permitted.
Oh, definitely P1 Holding Up Smee. Not even close. That was amazing. Him balancing him perfect down there and actually like moving him around. So I definitely have to give it to him.
I'm very happy with that. Are you happy with that, Dale?
Well, I would argue it's not an actual hit, but I can't argue it wasn't entertaining.
You see huge hits all the time, but you almost never see a bot perfectly balanced on top of somebody else, especially for such a small little flipper that he has up on top of there too.
I'm not saying it wasn't impressive. It was just, it's not a hit. This is a good hit moment.
Oh, fine. You want to hit? I guess I'll throw some shade at Hypershock and him getting yeeted out of the arena then.
I mean,
No,
you
to be fair,
can
I
say
agree with you
P1,
on Smee,
but
and that's 2-1 to Dale. So, mate, we win with Smee and P1, right? So,
I
fuck
always
Dale.
get outvoted anyway. So yeah, go on and go for it.
Oh, there we go. So we are giving the Good Hit of the Night award to P1 for
Yes.
holding up Smee. Sorry, Smee. Thank you.
Yes. How
Thank
long
you.
can you do that for?
Well, do you really want to test that, Jake?
No, probably not. No.
No. For the sake of the listeners, we won't do that. Well, Jake, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been amazing having you. Do you have any shout outs you'd like to give out before you go?
Oh, okay, I guess.
We did...
I see a question on here about I went from being one of the most beloved baby faces on BattleBots to being a hated heel. Will you see Jake Ewert heel turn next season? I think I'm gonna pull full heel and just go full out next season, and there's nobody that's gonna talk down to us anymore. No, yeah. I mean, if you're laughing at every one of your jokes, how villainous can you really be?
This is true.
Okay, well, thanks a bunch for having me on. I mean, if for some reason in the future you see that I need to come back, I'll be happy to join back.
So if you come back with pigeon spikes again next year,
Oh, I'll have to come with something even dumber than a bike rack.
come with a Nelly
Bonk.
attachment.
The giant nut.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, no joke. We have one designed for Hydra, and it actually bolts onto the flipper arm, and the hammer's like up in the air when the flipper's in its natural state, and when we flip, the hammer comes down on the backside. So no joke, we do have this weird attachment that we could actually put on.
Butt hammer.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
I like this.
Bye, Jake.
Oh, we had a lovely time with Jake on the show. How are you doing, Al?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm good. Rare, are you here? Are you good?
I am here. I am okay. I am doing the goods.
That's good to hear. It's non-metal week this week, children. Ooh.
I'm excited.
You're excited. I've seen the selection. I'm sorry, Al. That's all I'm gonna say at this point. Rara, kick us off.
That's definitely the best way to do it. Yes, so I'm going to kick us off with my sister in arms, my fellow weapon operator, Diana Tarleton, who has suggested The Baker by the Aquabats. Have a listen to this one.
Up in the morning to start my work, I cannot help wanting to bake a dessert. Like a gladiator about to meet his fate, I enter my arena, bow my head and start to bake. Yeah. You want a cookie?
That was certainly a thing.
That reminded me, I get mariachi vibes from it, and it reminds me of a ska punk band that I love called Ska P, who are Spanish, and they're amazing. And although I'm sorry, Diana, love you, I wasn't overly sold on this, but it reminded me of Ska P, and so I went and listened to the Ska P album, and I had a good afternoon. So there we go. Al, what did you think?
I actually really like this song. I had never heard of these guys before, but it's funny you mentioned mariachi because I have this weird thing for mariachi music and the Cuban horn music. I'm not sure what it's called. Don't be offended. But yeah, I've always kind of dug that music with the guitars and the horns, and I think it has a good vibe to it. The vocals are, I found the vocals good. I'm kind of a stickler for good vocals, so I enjoyed this song.
I'm with you on that, because a while ago there was a mariachi band that did Doritos adverts, and they did a cover of Don't You Want Me Baby, and it was this stupid ridiculous song, and I loved it. And then a friend a little while later said to me, hey, guess what? The Silly Doritos Mariachi Band are playing in a bar near us. Do you want to go and see them? And I'm all over this. And I went to see the Doritos Mariachi Band in Perranporth in Cornwall, and it was one of the best gigs I've been to. I had such a good night that night. It was wicked.
I would totally check that out.
That does actually sound brilliant. I kind of liked this. I think I liked it more for its energy, because I've needed something that was sort of high energy and bouncy for a while, and this was just so much fun.
Go and listen to Scarpy now as well, because 2 for 1, you won't be disappointed.
You've put it in my mind now. I'm going to go and find them and have a listen.
Al, what's the verdict? You sounded positive, so is it going in the Builders playlist?
Yeah, I like this one.
Woohoo! Congratulations, Diana. Okay, BuggleBot's naughty boy, Charlie Dangerfield, has been in, and he has suggested Rhythm is Changing by High Contrast. Here we go. I said to Charlie, suggest something Al will hate. So has he achieved that, Al?
Pretty close. Pretty close. It's funny, I'm looking at my note here and I can't even read the second word I wrote, but I wrote techno. Because I do remember this gave me 2 of the songs this week gave me a very 80s techno kind of vibe, like a clubby kind of feel. But this one just didn't do anything for me really. I couldn't get into it. It's just
Did you listen to it the whole way through?
I think I did.
Okay, you did better
I
than
listened
me.
to these at work today on my headphones, so I was able to listen through them. But I didn't want to make it all the way through that one, but I did, and I didn't really care for it.
I can literally see Charlie skidding by in like this beaten up hatchback, blaring this out of a window.
Still screaming that the Berg really won BuggleBots.
Absolutely, exactly.
Al has done better than me. I listened to the first 10 seconds, then I skipped about 30 seconds to think, does it get better? And it didn't get better. So I lasted about a further 20 seconds. All in all, I think I managed 40 seconds in total on this one. So I'm sorry, Charlie. It's quite clear from Al that it's not going on the Builders playlist. But thank you for suggesting something that Al almost hated. Well done. You've achieved. Wait. Hold up. Worse than Pantera?
I'm
Rara, he's thinking about it.
I'm gonna give it a tie. It's tied with Pantera.
Oh, okay, we've not had that. That's a new one. Oh, there we go. Oh, Rara. Let's move on quickly.
I'm not willing to say worse, but I wasn't thrilled with it.
This will be the one that also hits the sort of 80s club vibes for you. I love this piece of music. So our fellow Shunt posting mod superstar, Chris Hart, has suggested Voidwalker by Ghost Data. Have a listen. I love this song so much. I can absolutely see like a BattleBots montage using this piece of music, and it's absolutely been snuck onto the Nelly playlist. But what did you two think?
I managed more of it than I did Charlie's one.
That's fair.
I'll give it that. Probably by about another 30 seconds. So almost double. It's got that going for it.
Probably got to the drop at least.
Wouldn't say it was my cup of tea, but I don't hate it, so I'll allow you to put it on the Nelly playlist. And I shall leave the decision and the verdict in the good hands of Mr. Kindle, who shall give us his opinion on it.
I actually like this one. This one, for whatever reason, the first thing I thought of was the very first club scene in Blade, where he's walking into the club and there's the silly blood sprinklers going on, and it had the techno 80s music playing.
Yes.
And it gave me that. And then it's fitting because it reminded me a lot of the music that they used in Robot Wars 1995. It was very, very techno-y, very poppy, electronic-y, and that just kind of, it gave me that feel. So I kind of, maybe I liked it better than I normally would because it reminded me of two things right off the bat. But yeah, I kind of liked it.
So is it going in?
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a go.
Hey, there you go, Chris.
Nice, Chris. Like I said, I like this song as well. I genuinely really love this artist and song. So I'm very happy it's gotten onto the playlist. I'm actually surprised.
I'll allow it. I feel the next one possibly may not go on, but it did make me giggle for meme value, so I'll give it that. Tombo Baxter has suggested Never Gonna Coffin You Up by Lemonade. It's meme factor did it for me. I hate it, but I can't hate it because I've rickrolled Pete Abramson. There's that. And Jerome's Tim doing the coffin dance video was also amazing. So on the basis that this is the two combined inadvertently, I like it. Go on, do you hate it, Al?
I didn't hate this, oddly enough. It's kind of a weird mashup that works.
I give it that. It does work.
And one weird thing that struck me, as I mentioned earlier, and and anybody who's listened to this, I am a stickler for vocals. And while I've known this song forever, I didn't realize how awesome his voice really is.
It really is, right? I picked that up when someone recently rickrolled me, because apparently that's becoming a thing again. Someone recently told me, and I went, you know what? No, I'm going to listen to the whole song. And it's actually not a bad song.
Yeah, like I knew this song, but I couldn't name another song that he does. But after listening to this, I think I'm going to go back and check some of his stuff out, just because like his voice is like perfect. And that impresses me when I hear that. So,
he has got a good
as far
voice.
as this mashup, I thought it was kind of funny, and as we said, kind of off mic, that I didn't even realize it at first because I was listening to it at work, and I missed that it was a mashup, and I was kind of confused by why this song was here. But yeah, I mean, I like watching the video. Is neat because I always get a kick out of those New Orleans crazy funerals where everybody's kind of partying, and I find that neat instead of standing around being sad.
I think they're Kenyan.
Is that what it is?
Ghana.
Oh, I don't know.
Ghana, sorry, it's Ghana. Ghanaian.
Yeah, it was Ghanaian. It was a Ghanaian funeral specifically for, I believe, a musician. So that was completely and utterly planned, and it was just it rocketed into memedom last year. And again, another beautiful thing that was mentioned off mic is the fact that this is the unholy fusion of two robot-related incidents of Sarah rickrolling Abrahamson in the damn build reports because Nelly can't.
I sent him a build report and it was a rickroll.
Because you're
Because the bot whisperer loves me.
the Tim Rackers version of the coffin dance.
I'll go and look up Jerome Lievelu, his post. He's done actually it's on the Shunt Posting YouTube channel as well. It's a mashup of Tim doing the coffin dance, and it's amazing. Go and see it.
I have to check that out. Yeah.
So is it a yay or a nay, Al?
I'm gonna say yes. I'm weirdly loving this song right now. So
amazing. Congratulations, Tombo Baxter. Your suggestion actually makes the builders play. I like it actually. Fuck it. I do. It's memes. It's a Rickroll. It's the coffin dance. It's Shunt Posting glory. Well done, Tombo. Bravo.
For a metal week, we've got a surprisingly high number of things going on to the playlist.
I'm not surprised that Charlie's was the one that didn't. Sorry, Charlie. He did win BattleBots, so he's got that going for him. He'll use this as an admission now. You watch. If there's a season 3 of BattleBots, he's going to say, I've got proof that I won BattleBots. I've got Sarah on record admitting it.
There's just going to be Aaron in the background just shaking his head, resigned at this point.
This is true. Right, so next week, Shunt Posters, we are back to metal or just whatever you want to send us. We prefer metal, but you can still send us other stuff too. Get on the Builders playlist on the Shunt Posting thread and send us whatever you want.
We need more and more suggestions, and there have been quite a good influx. Unfortunately, when we asked for non-metal, we had a weird, nice influx of more metal to show people.
Yes.
So the next few weeks are going to be nice and sorted.
This is true, but keep your suggestions coming. That's it for this week on the Builders playlist. Al and Rara will see you later. Bye, Rara.
Bye. I'm going to go and see how long Smee is.
Bye, Al.
Hail Hydra. Hey, hold on. Can I stay and talk about the top 32?
I mean, absolutely, you could. I better check Dale's back. Dale, are you back?
I never left. I just muted myself.
Oh, I see. You were spying on us again.
Yeah, I still can't believe you listened to the whole songs. It's a bit weird.
I'm sure the listeners believe you. But yes, so we are going to talk about the top 32, and Al is going to join us. What are our surprises in this list? Al, who are your surprises in here?
I think the elephant in the room could be could. Oh, sorry. The armadillo in the room. I think it kind of has to be Beta at 13. I do think Beta should be in, but I think that seed is being a little bit generous. Don't get me wrong, I love Beta. It was an inspiration to us to get started in BattleBots. So don't get me wrong, but I think that's a little high. So I think that's a little bit of a surprise there. I don't know. I'd have to. Everything else is pretty good. Honestly,
my surprise is Mammoth. Just based off last season, did you ever think that Mammoth would be in the tournament? You'd say no normally, wouldn't you?
Yeah, Mammoth would be very high on my most improved list.
I mean, definitely, but just whether I thought it would be a top 32 robot previously, until literally seeing it with my own eyes.
Yeah,
Mammoth is the biggest
absolutely.
surprise for me, definitely. What's the biggest surprise for you, Dale?
Well, in terms of like the other way round, I feel like Gruff should be at least 10 rated higher. They had a good season. It's like they didn't lose terribly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And from last year as well, like they're a strong robot for a newish one. I'll put them up a bit higher, but yeah, generally I can't really complain too much.
I think a lot of these.
Hydra.
Yeah,
Hydra
I agree.
should be last.
This isn't bots you hate get the lowest seeding, Dale.
I just like robots that move.
Dale is still salty about the bike rack, Al.
Is that what it is?
It's not the bike rack, it's the fact they didn't move. The bike rack was genius. It's the not moving part.
Dale wanted to see more movement.
Yes.
Dale, read more.
I mean, yeah, I'm overall, I'm pretty happy with the top 32. I mean, I've definitely got some arguments about where things should be and whatnot. But honestly, if all three of us did that, we'll probably be here all day. Another one I'm happy to see, not so much surprised because of how it's done. It's done very well, but Mad Catter, I'm very happy about it because I love Mad Catter. And Dale is all over Martin Mason. Dale, I reckon, thinks that Hydra should be last and Mad Catter should be number one. Is that right, Dale?
I mean, yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Okay, what we will do instead is we will have a top three for who we think is going to take the giant nut. A top three. Al, what's yours?
Number one, I have to go with Hydra, just based on performance. I don't think there was any questioning of the number one seed for Hydra. And I think that last match solidified it against Uppercut, because Uppercut was just murdering people, and Hydra totally negated it. And if you have that ability, I think that, time will tell. Obviously, his armor is going to be an issue if he does start taking hits later on, but I think Hydra has to go number one. And number two, I'm actually kind of torn. I flip-flop back and forth between Copperhead and Sawblaze. I just think Copperhead's really got it together this year. They're hitting
it's a
very
monster.
hard. I don't know if anybody's hitting as hard as Copperhead and Uppercut and Endgame is it. I would throw that in there as well. Sawblaze I put up there just because I've always loved that bot, and JMO is just a great competitor, and I think it's really pretty close to Apex this season. And as long as he has some better front-end solutions this time, I don't think we've seen them all yet this season. So I just that's going to be my pick, 1, 2, 3.
My son will be pleased with you because Sawblaze is his favorite robot. So I'm also going to have to include Sawblaze in my top three. I think I'm going to put it at my number three, though. My number two, I'm going to go for Whiplash. And my number one, even though it just lost to Whiplash, is going to be Valkyrie, which I know, feeling at what? It just lost to Whiplash. But if they get that spinner back up and working, as good as it did with the rotator fight, that fight, I think, would have gone a very, very different way. So my top pick, Valkyrie, Whiplash, and Sawblaze for my son. Dale.
I'm going to have to say Rusty at number one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear. Copperhead, maybe, number two. I was going to say Scorpios for number three, but you make a good point with Whiplash. I'll stick with Scorpios, number three. So,
fair enough.
Yeah.
I have to mildly disagree with Al thinking that Hydra is the number one when he also admits how hard Copperhead is hitting. I think Copperhead versus Hydra, I think Copperhead will take it, in all honesty. And we're neglecting to mention Bloodsport. Bloodsport is a scary monster this season as well. Well, there we go. That's our thoughts here at Shunt Posting on the top 32. We've got Meme of the Week to do. Would you like to join us for Meme of the Week, Al?
Sure, why not?
Okay, well, basically, one of our nominations, which is Victor Endriago, was the Al in the Witch Doctor hat meme, and I thought you'd like to know that one was a nomination this week.
Oh, nice.
Dale, what was the other one?
We had Jesse Mallon, the car driving off the exit ramp for Witch Doctor and Slammo, and deciding to drive into the wall.
That was a lovely moment, I have to admit.
Yeah.
But Al, seeing as you've decided to stick around, who are you going to give it to? Voting for yourself's permitted, of course.
I'm gonna vote for myself because I actually laughed out loud at that one. I was very concerned when I got to the window that said this isn't about money. I was worried where that was going to go. It made me laugh because I always joke with Mike about the bird hat and that it probably smells, and I thought that was kind of neat.
So congratulations, Victor Endriago. You win Meme of the Week. That leaves us with the Frugalicious Award, and I'd be honest, it was slim pickings again this week. What award can we give instead? Can we give a well done BattleBots award for making all the fans salty and argue about the top 32? In particular with P1. I'm not getting into it. There's been some jolly good arguments on P1's behalf. So
yeah.
we could do that. We'll give a well done sarcastic BattleBots award for causing social media storms with the top 32. That's,
Yay, BattleBots.
Yay. BattleBots, he's our man. If he can do it, Rusty can.
Hey.
That was on the spot. It wasn't terrible. I may include it, I may not. We'll see. Well, Al, thank you for sticking around for the last part of the podcast, but I'm afraid it is the end of the Shuntcast for the good ladies and gentlebots, so we're going to have to say goodbye properly.
All right. Take care, guys. Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
I will see you on the Builders playlist next week. And on that note, it's goodbye from Dale.
Bye-bye.
And it's goodbye from the Queen. Goodbye.